Well, hello and welcome to another Faith, Philosophy and Life with me, Mr. Shelton. It's great to see you today, and I hope that you and your family are doing well. Behind me is four pictures about one word. Wonder if you can work out what the word is. Here's our cheesy intro music. Excellent. Okay, welcome back. I wonder if you got the word. The word is prayer. Okay, now obviously we were looking at that last lesson, and today we're going to continue. So using your pen and paper, this is our title: How do Christians pray? And today we're going to understand the different types of Christian prayer. We're also going to be looking at the Our Father. So it's going to be a good outcome if you can identify different types of prayer. It's going to be great if you can explain the significance of the Lord's Prayer, also known as the Our Father, and even better if you can interpret some different beliefs about the Lord's Prayer or the Our Father. It's going to be, during this lesson, we're going to look at Acts, we're going to look at the Lord's Prayer, and there's an exam question as well with a recap task. There are four main types of prayer within Christianity, which we're going to call Acts. You can see I've underlined that there. You've got adoration, confession, and thanksgiving, and supplication, A-C-T and S. What I'd like you to do is, using the information linked in the description below, this will go through different forms of prayers that Christians have and what A-C-T and S stand for. And I'd like you to summarise each of those into your notes. What I then want you to do is to create a prayer, an example prayer that is, one of adoration, one of confession, one of thanksgiving, and one of supplication. So let me just recap all of that because I'm speaking very fast today. Must be the coffee. What I'd like you to do is to come up with, to look through the information pack that's listed in the description, summarise each of those pages down. When you've done that, you're going to create a one-line prayer that's an example of adoration, a one-line prayer that's an example of confession, a one-line prayer that's an example of thanksgiving, and a one-line prayer that's an example of supplication. So, come back to me when that's done. See you in a few. Okay, so what we've done then, hopefully now we can identify some different types of prayers: adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. And now what we're going to do is we are going to think specifically about the Our Father, or the Lord's Prayer. So the question is, what does the title of this prayer tell us about? Well, if it's the Our Father, we know Jesus prayed it to his Father. If it's the Lord's Prayer, then we are also referring Jesus to as Lord. Both of those are completely fine. What I'd like you to do, again in the description below, there is the Our Father sheet. I would like you to download that, have a look at that. It's about highlighting and identifying things and answering some questions from it. So when you've done that, come back to me. Okay, so to answer these questions, they're really straightforward. The first question, simply, it's a 2-mark part 2 question. All you need to do is to give two themes that the Lord's Prayer shows about God. Now, we've referred to that as the Our Father during this. However, it's exactly the same prayer. I'm sure you've picked that up by now. So for the first question, all you're doing is writing two things that the Lord's Prayer shows about God. And for the second question, you're giving two reasons why Christians pray to God, and you've got to put a quote in with that to get the 5th mark. So remember, with that type of question, that's a part 4 question, you're giving two bits of information that are explained, referencing it back to the sacred text or one of the prayers, and you'll see the God-gitters quotes there. You need to give yourself 2 minutes for the first question and 5 minutes for the second question, so that will give you a grand total of 7 minutes. So you'll need to pause me now while you do that and come back to me in 7 minutes time.
Excellent. So just to conclude then, we said a good outcome would be if you could identify different types of prayer. Great if you could explain the significance of the Lord's Prayer or the Our Father, and even better if you can interpret these beliefs within the Lord's Prayer, and that's what we've just done. So here is our sort of conclusion. First question, and you're going to write this in your book. Identify a line from the Our Father that shows respect for God. Write in your book which line shows respect for God. Okay, here's the next one. Asking for God's protection. And here's the last one. Understanding God's power. I've been Mr. Shelton. You've been amazing. Thanks very much for your time. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. God bless you.